Hello everybody, welcome back to Wednesday Fitness. So today I'm just going to do a stretch because I have had quite the workout this week and I figured stretching is really great. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through a stretch series for those of you that are like, well, you know, she does a lot of fitness, but I really need some stretch videos. So here's a stretch video. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and just cross and we're going to pull our knee towards our chest. And try and sit up nice and tall and try to bring the shoulder down. And you want to make sure that you're inhaling, exhaling. As you're doing this, you'll probably feel a lot of pressure or maybe a release in your back. And we just really want to sit up nice and tall to really get this nice deep stretch. And important that you're using leverage with your hands to pull your chest forward. Drop those shoulders down. Go ahead and continue holding this and making sure you're taking nice deep inhale and exhales here. It is a beautiful day and I hope that you guys are enjoying it. And as you guys do enjoy it, I'm actually outdoors, so if you're hearing the squawking, there are crows nearby. So go ahead and take that nice deep inhale, exhale. Very good. All right, let's switch it up. Same exact thing. And we're gonna pull that knee towards us and have both hands. Now, really important, this is also getting a nice glute stretch as well. So as you're bringing your chest up and forward, you're bringing your knee as close to your chest as possible. You should also feel this a little bit in that glute max and maybe into that medial and getting a good stretch in there as well. So just maintain that deep inhale, exhale as we hold it here for a few more seconds. So you probably did not see it, or maybe you did on the video, but there were just beautiful hummingbirds that just whipped right through, right above my head. I just love nature, and if I can do a workout out here, you know I will. Okay, and relax. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and decompress that back by curving it. You can go ahead and reach towards your ankles. Now, if you can't reach your ankles or your toes, that's perfectly fine. Just go ahead and place your hand underneath your calves just to help brace yourself, and you're going to bring your head down. Okay, so tucking your chin to your chest and getting a nice curve. Okay, so just a nice little curve like that goes all the way around. Okay, so we're kind of like in a U shape, I guess you can say. And tilt that head, chin to chest, and you'll feel it a lot more in your neck and all the way down that spine. Go ahead and continue on with that nice deep inhale, exhale. I'm going a little bit lighter on my exhale just because I realized that the mic picks it up a lot stronger than I anticipate. So I'm being a lot kinder in hoping that this isn't too overwhelming in terms of the sound. Now, as you exhale, you want to make sure that you feel your shoulders kind of relax into it as well. Because sometimes some people will try and like do their inhale, exhale, but then they shrug their shoulders up really high towards their ears. We actually want to kind of allow those shoulders to drop and kind of bring our elbows closer towards the mat. Okay, very good. Okay, let's sit up nice and tall. Good, and bring those arms up. Now, if you have any impingements up into those shoulders and you can't really get them as high, then go with, you know, whatever angle is going to work for you. So this one just comes up nice and tall. And we're just going to inhale, exhale here for a little bit just to lengthen out our spine a little bit more. And sometimes you can go ahead and kind of do a side tilt. Okay. towards the side. I might actually move my mat here just so then that way you guys can kind of see it a little bit better. And just lean over. And even as you're leaning over, you want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall. You don't want to curve that back as you're trying to do this, because then that sort of shifts where your stretch is going to be. Inhale, exhale. And switch one more time to the other side. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick 45 here so you can see it. Okay, so again, just tilt to the side. And then to the other. And come back to center. Okay, now we're going to interlock our hands together. Pull the shoulder blades together. And we're going to tilt our chin to our chest. Good, and just take a deep breath here. This should be nice and relaxing. You might feel a little bit of strain in certain places, especially if those muscles aren't used to strength, like lengthening. Okay, go ahead and release. Let's cross those arms. And what's great is, I know some people aren't comfortable, being on a mat, but you can definitely do some of these in a chair the same way. And they'll still work just fine in terms of stretching. Okay, switch it out to the other side. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a twist in our spine. We're going to go ahead and do the Hollywood, twisting their back and looking over our shoulders as much as we can. Fantastic work, everybody. Inhale, exhale here. And switch sides. I'm going to flip over so that way it stays. Okay, and twist and turn. Good. Excellent. Kind of weird, I think, that when you're traveling and you go to warmer climates and you're from a colder climate, it's amazing to me how much our body tolerates the cold so much better. Because I definitely am. It's a little chilly, but not as bad. And I'm surprised how much I'm tolerating this, because normally I don't. And come back. Good. Okay. Now, if you have any issues with your knees, you can use something with a little bit more padding to do this. Okay. All right. Now, first we'll start off with a nice back extension. You can go ahead and have your hands start off here. If this feels good, great. If you're like, well, I don't really feel it that much, and you want to go a little deeper into a stretch, go ahead and push your hands out straight. And that's going to really apply a bit more pressure in that low back. And you can stretch it out and create a nice curve. Now, some people might want a little deeper, and if you slide your hands towards your belly and stretch your arms up a little bit more, you'll feel that stretch. And it's also going to force a bit of a squeeze in your glutes. And those will activate to help maintain a nice curvature in your back as well. So make sure you inhale, exhale here, and also you'll feel a stretch in your abs as well. And I'll stretch it. If you find that uncomfortable, then come back down to the original position where we were on our forearms. Inhale, exhale here. Very good. Excellent. I always love this back extension. Slow it down, come down to the mat. Great. Grab one of your ankles and pull it towards your glutes, and you'll feel a great hamstring stretch here. Or not hamstring, I apologize, quad stretch. And now if you can lift your legs up off the ground, you're gonna feel those quads activate a little bit more, and you can bring your hands a little closer to your shin to really lift it up. Inhale, exhale here. Fantastic. And as you can see, when I'm inhaling, I'm really pushing up with my other hand to allow for that stretch into my abdominal muscles. And it's important too that when we're inhaling, exhaling, you really want to feel it into that rib cage and not really in your chest. So make sure that you're really considering like what you are feeling when you're breathing. Okay, inhale, exhale here. Again. One more time. Great, relax. Okay, let's switch it out to the other side. Okay, grab that ankle. Okay, and it's good to also curl your toe on the opposite leg that's stabilizing you so that you can have a little leverage. So when you're pulling your thigh off the ground, you have a little bit more control. Inhale, exhale through. One more time. Great job. And go ahead and slowly drop it. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves down and bring your glutes towards your heels as much as you can. Drop your chin to your chest and bring your head down towards your mat. Inhale, exhale here as your arms stretch beyond your head. And then you're going to tip your hip to one side and then bring your hands to the opposite direction. So if your hips are going to the left, your hands are going to the right. But in my case, my hips are going to the right and my hands are going to the left. Okay, switch sides. Just a nice little movement here. Good. You'll feel this into that serratus anterior, just stretching out, and probably into that latissimus dorsi as well, which is along the sides, upper part of your back. Okay, good. And you'll feel this also in your glutes as well as you drop that hip to one side. Okay, great. And we're going to do some ankle exercises or stretches here. So let's go ahead and sit back up. Now, if you're having a hard time sitting up, then just feel free to lean back, okay? Because mainly our focus is our ankles. We're just going to do forward and down with these. Okay, good. Just focus on inhaling, exhaling. Great. Okay, and then spread them apart. Then you kind of want to invert them towards you and then down to the other. So we're just moving our toes towards the ground and switching back and forth. Good. So we're getting a little bit of hip rotation here. If you find that's uncomfortable for the hip, if you've got any hip impingements, then feel free to just kind of use your hands to just focus on, keeping the entire hip flexors from moving or your leg from moving. Okay, good. All right, go ahead and lay down. And now we're gonna cross, okay? And you're gonna wrap around and we're gonna get a deeper glute stretch here. Right here, inhale, exhale. Great job. Oh, the sky is blue, the sun is out. Such a glorious day. There's so many things to be appreciative about. I'm so thankful for. I know, especially since Thanksgiving has passed and now we're getting into the Christmas holiday and everybody is just thinking about others and who to give gifts to. I hope we can really focus also on just having this like gratitude mindset and having, you know, an appreciation for the people that are in our lives. And I feel like gifts are a great expression, but I hope that we don't get into this deep over materialistic aspect, which is probably why I'm not a big fan of commercialized holidays. And as much as I am, you know, a big believer in Jesus Christ, I think that there's a way of, I don't know, I don't want to say minimalizing, but just being minimalistic, but with high impact in terms of your relationships and really making people feel like they matter in your life. You know what I mean? So I don't know, just a thought. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful, you know, blessed holiday, and that you're taking care of yourself too as you're going through maybe a stressful time during the holidays. Especially I feel like when people are trying to figure out, what do I get this person? I feel like that to me is very, very stressful. But I also just love putting a smile on people's faces and being able to just be thoughtful. And sometimes we can do that with just the little things. It doesn't have to be extravagant. But I think sometimes just the nice words of encouragement can go a long way for some people who are struggling during this time. All right, let's go ahead and stretch out the hamstrings. We're going to just reach for our toes or our ankles, okay, and just stretch them out. Now your hips can be off the ground if you are able. If not, that's perfectly fine. You can just kind of put your hands behind your thighs and kind of stretch them out this way, you know, and you can play around with your ankles if you want. You know, they can go up and down, whatever's comfortable. Okay, I just need a little bit more of a stretch here. I just love it. And you can move side to side if you want, just a little bit. Okay, great. And let's get those toes. Stretch them out. Oh, it feels so good. And hopefully we can start the day with a wonderful bit of a stretch here, and just encouraging you guys to continue to live, thrive, and be healthy. And that concludes it all, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on this stretch series. And I am so happy to have been able to, you know, be with you this entire year, and since having started this YouTube channel, but also having done all of the work that I do outside of, you know, filming all of this stuff. I just want you all to know that how much I really appreciate the comments, but also just the encouragement in my DMs. And for those of you that have joined me on my online classes, thank you so much. It's been such a blessing. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me on my Instagram. That's where I mostly am, to be perfectly honest. Like, most people can really reach out to me there, and I generally respond. I don't try to force anybody to work with me, but if you do, it is a blessing. But for those of you that are interested, do know that I do have classes coming up in the near future. Most of those are going to be in person, but I also have an app, and my app is eventually, hopefully, going to be launching my classes. So you'll get full things like this on there that are pre-recorded, and hopefully trying to make it more affordable for people, because I mean, it is a lot of love and work to be put into it, and I am a one-man show. So I hope that you guys continue to follow me, and may you be encouraged. And with that said, may you live, thrive, and be healthy. Take care, guys. Bye.